we'll move on from Marvel into and this just came out right before we recorded today. Rolling Stone released its latest iteration of the 500 greatest songs. Their 500 greatest songs. For the first time in 17 years, Rolling Stone magazine released an updated version of its 500 greatest songs of all time, which is crazy. It went this long considering how many new people are around. But this list now includes Adele, Amy Winehouse, Kanye West, Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift, among other contemporary artists. I'm not going to obviously go through too many of these. I narrowed it down, obviously, just the top 10 I thought was the best because it still kind of was able to get a lot of contemporary artists in there. So 10 was Outkast, Hey Ya. 9, Fleetwood Mac, Dreams. 8,
this is
Missy
the
Elliott.
top 10?
This is the top 10.
Your top 10?
Their top 10.
Okay.
Their top 10. 8, Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On. 7, The Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever. 6, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. 5, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. 4, Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone. 3, Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come. 2, Public Enemy, Fight the Power. And 1 was Aretha Franklin, Respect. So I don't know if you looked through the list. I'm
kind of looking at it right now.
I looked through mostly just like the top 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm
going beyond that is it was sort of weird to me. Some of the artists like higher songs. There's sort of like some artists like most popular songs weren't necessarily their highest ranked song or whatever like that. The top 10, it was one of those funny things where I was like, none of these songs are my favorite song by that artist, which is just kind of funny to me, other than Respect by Aretha Franklin, I guess. But I thought that was a sort of an interesting take. I don't, obviously this is just a panel of people that work at Rolling Stone that rank these things. I know the White Stripes had a very high ranking. But I think it's interesting. I think the thing that's interesting to me on something like this is why. And I wonder, like, why 500 is always kind of my thing with Rolling Stone. And, I don't.
So many songs.
And there's so many songs. I get that. But it's at a point where it's like, when we get that far into things, it just seems almost weird to me that, like, here's 500 best songs of all time when there's millions of songs out there. I don't have a problem with the top 10. This is something I was like, really, why I brought this. I literally don't have a problem with the top 10 because there's no way to rank songs. I just think this is kind of
it's all subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective. Like I said, none of the top 10 songs on this list by those artists is my favorite song by that artist. And so that's sort of funny to me, the way that this works. But I mean, do you have any thoughts from what you saw beyond even the top 10?
Yeah, I'm looking. I just clicked on, because they have them in tabs: 500 to 429, 428 to 357. 356 to 285. I just Googled Rolling Stone top 500. 284 to 213, 212 to 141, 140 to 69, 68 to 1. Something that struck out to me was that they had Daddy Yankee's Gasolina as number 50, and that should not be on the top 500 songs.
That was, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually got super angry when I read that.
Dancing on My Own, number 20.
Yeah, that's a rough take too.
John, Imagine, Purple Rain. I'm now to the top. See, this is okay. Beyonce featuring Jay-Z, Crazy in Love. And I'm going to read the blurb, right? I'm going to read the blurb. Producer Rich Harrison had trouble convincing friends and peers that the beat to Crazy in Love had much potential. So he added a 5-alarm horn blast taken from 70s soulsters like the Chillites, Are You My Woman, Tell Me So, as well as his own instrumental flourishes, and kept it at the ready for the right moment and the right artist until I got the call from B, he said later, as a single that inaugurated Beyonce's solo career. The song emphatically announced her arrival as the era's dominant pop power. Jay-Z's killer verse was added at the last minute. Bey and Jay had just started dating at the time, and the song's lyrics and head over heels delivery reflected what she described as the first step of a relationship right before you let go, end quotes. That's the number 16 song. Okay. Do you know what the number 17 song is?
I don't
The
remember
greatest song in the history of rock music, Bohemian Rhapsody. So that's why this list is complete fucking horse shit. Okay.
This is also why I put it on there, because I knew, like, I can look at these kind of
Daddy
lists
Yankee
and not
number
get
50, Gasolina.
that got me mad. I hated that song so much.
Legendary rock song, Stairway to Heaven. The second greatest song in the history of rock music behind Bohemian Rhapsody is like in the 60s.
Well, I mean, just
this
to
makes
say,
me want to murder an entire litter of kittens.
I will say, and on that point, because I scrolled to the top 50, Lauryn Hill's Doo Wop, widely considered one of the greatest songs I like in R&B, just is only one spot higher than Gasolina. And I'm not, my thing is whether that should be 49. It's just, you're trying to tell me a song that I literally have filtered that Gasolina song out of my head, and I can't even tell you what the beat is. If I hear one note of Doo Wop by Lauryn Hill, I got that song in my brain the rest of the day. I mean, that song, that's just so funny to me. Like, you're right. Like, this list
okay, the top 10. I love Hey Ya. I love Outkast.
Yeah.
It's not a top 10. It's not a top 10 song. Okay.
It's not their best song.
Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On at number 8 is insulting to music.
Correct.
Okay. Outside of those two, I don't really have any issues. Marvin Gaye is fine. What's the Fleetwood Mac song?
Dreams.
No.
It's not their best song.
It's not their best song. That's because of the guy and fucking Snapple. And
isn't it
not their best song?
Cranberry Juice or something?
Whatever. Sure. I don't care.
Cran Apple.
Cran Apple. The Chain is better. What's the other one? Fleetwood Mac.
I mean, there's a lot of really good Fleetwood.
Yeah, the Chain. Yeah. I mean, at minimum, the Chain's a better song. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? That's fine. Nirvana. We've had this conversation about Nirvana. Like, Smells Like Teen Spirit is probably not a top 10 or a top 5 song in terms of quality. It is probably a top 5 song in terms of importance.
Right.
So I will say, I'll give that, that's fine. Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone, that's fine. Sam Cooke, that's fine. Public Enemy, Fight the Power, that's probably another one of those important, like, based on importance type songs. Yeah. Aretha Franklin, that's fine. I don't know about number 1, but I'm also biased towards rock music. Bohemian Rhapsody at number 17 is an absolute travesty.
Yeah.
And I would say that Stairway in the 60s is a travesty. Those are both top 10 songs. Period. Like, there's nothing. And the fact that there was no, what were Strawberry Fields?
6.
Was it in the top 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the top 10.
Beach Boys, that doesn't need to be 11 either. I mean, I could pick this apart. I'm not going to.
I'm glad I brought it up, though, because
Strawberry Fields is my favorite Beatles song, so I like that. Strawberry Fields Forever.
That's good.
So it is outside of those two, and like I said, I really like Outkast. I don't know that Hey Ya is a top 10 song.
To me, that is just a song because it was just so friggin' popular.
Yeah, sure.
Like, more than the actual quality of the song and, whatever it is.
I'll tell you what, man. Fucking Daddy Yankee at number 50 ahead of Stairway to Heaven. I want to cry. Whoever that is deserves to be karate chopped in the throat. Whoever made that call. I'm
just going to go
pure. The problem is other people signed off on it too. Like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. What?
And I'm going to go pure bias. The fact that you're going to tell me that the greatest songwriter right now, contemporary songwriter right now, does not have a higher ranking than that song. Taylor Swift does not have is absolute just garbage. She is widely considered the best songwriter of her generation in that music. And you're saying Gasolina is a better song. I'm glad we did this because we have our fodder. That song sucks. It's not a top 500 song. It's not a top 1000 song. it is in the lowest 1% of all songs ever made, and
I don't know
somehow
about
it's number
that.
50. It's not good. I was so when that song was popular, I remember because this was my newspaper days where I only really listened to Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus when I was driving on the way home because I was always tired and I needed music to pump me up. And sometimes that song would come on and I'd be like, I'd rather just die and I'd turn the radio off because I could not take that song. So
I think that statement raised more questions than it answered.
well, I mean, you've been with me. Miley Cyrus kept us alive, Brenton.
That's fair. Number 5.